Hey, what's going on, CoinOpTV subscribers? Robert Welkner here. Let's talk about Truth Be Told, Episode 7, which is called Live Through This on Apple TV+. This video will contain some spoilers, and I look forward to any of your comments or suggestions or feedback in the comment section below. If you guys are brand new, please subscribe. So let's get started. I got a lot of notes here. A lot of things happen in this episode. A lot of things to unpack. A lot of things to discuss and talk about. If I skip over something important, just mention it in the comments below. We'll talk about it there. So we get a big epic flashback scene with Lainey and Warren as kids frolicking around in a forest, even kissing each other. This is also happening while Warren is rereading his old letter from Lainey, and we're getting multiple layers here talking about kind of their life as kids and exploring that. And Lainey's sort of voiceover is talking about being locked up also, and she mentions that she loves Warren in the letter. And then, of course, we sort of see Josie and Lainey in the same forest, what it looks like the same forest a little later on. So a big scene comes up where Warren stabs the Aryan leader dude in prison, and I was actually surprised that both of them were creeping around without anybody nearby, but okay, plot needs to happen. Clearly there's going to be some ramifications here. Will Warren decide to try and get himself into solitary confinement or remain in Gen Pop? We'll sort of find out as we go in this episode. Another major thing that happens is Poppy visits Chuck's old house where Aaron broke in and was caught there snooping around. Poppy reminds us that they never find the murder weapon, which is what she could be, what Aaron could be looking for. The mysterious thing that Aaron's been looking for. She went dumpster diving in the old storage locker. She's been going around in the old house looking for something to find, and seems that she hasn't found it yet. 17 years or whatever it's been. Poppy declares that Aaron is definitely guilty. Again, Poppy is just accusing people left and right, doesn't have hard evidence, hard proof, no murder weapon. It's getting really hard to side with Poppy and root for Poppy, because I feel like she's just like jumping into the deep end and talking about things on her podcast publicly without all the facts, and kind of guessing and trying to get to the finish line without having all of the information. I feel like she should be bringing this information to a courtroom or a judge or a lawyer. It's interesting that her husband is a lawyer, and she doesn't seem to want to confide in him with some of the stuff. I mean, maybe he's not allowed to sort of talk about that. But even though technically I've been kind of putting the finger on Aaron myself, I'm not going to just, go out there and make a public, announcement to everybody and throw her under the bus, right? So later we get a nice scene with Lainey visiting Warren in jail, and Warren confronts her about the letter that she wrote, years ago, asking if Lainey actually loved him or not. And who knows what she's gonna say. I mean, if she says she loved him, is it real? Is it fake? It doesn't seem like Lainey is the loving sort. It seems like she's the vindictive sort, a little bit loose cannon in there. And I wrote down here that Warren is just asking for more pain. He should have just let it go and try to figure out ways around this lifestyle with Lainey and some of the people in his past. Warren actually says, if I had known that your dad was sexually abusing you, Lainey, I would have killed Chuck myself. So that sort of declares to us, the viewers, that he is not the actual murderer, which has been kind of left a little bit open-ended there. So a little later on, Aaron says to Josie, I tried to protect you, and that means lots of hints that maybe Josie is actually the guilty party here, and everybody around her was trying to protect her from maybe stabbing Chuck. Will we know the answer? Will we get this answer in season 1? Has it all just been a cover-up with Aaron and Lainey for Josie murdering Chuck? I'll need to know. I'll be kind of bummed if this drags on through season 2. I kind of feel like maybe they need to wrap it up and then explore something else in season 2. I'm curious. They even announced that there's going to be a season 2 of this show? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. So here we are, some more notes, some more things to talk about. Poppy, here's my reactions. Poppy is masterminding lots of stuff in this episode. First, setting up a meeting with Aaron and the guys who bought Chuck's old house. And she actually ambushes her there and confronts her about motive. She's going out on the deep, putting herself out there, putting her face out there, putting her name out there. Feels like she didn't learn anything from the last time around when Owen sent over the cops to arrest her family and bust up the bar there. So it's really weird. I'm just like, Poppy, I want to root for you. But man, you're doing a lot of things that are questionable, and I guess that's kind of the theme of the show. Maybe can podcasts be damageable? Can there be redemptions in a podcast? So I guess that's kind of like one of the conceits of the show here. So does Poppy really think that if she confronts somebody face to face, they're gonna confess to her and then walk down to the courtroom with her and turn themselves in? That seems very unlikely. Definitely a lot of more layers to this episode. I'm not really quite sure how many people are watching this show on Apple TV Plus, but I hope they check it out because I'm enjoying it. The only thing that I don't really like is how exposed Poppy makes herself to everybody, especially after the consequences. I feel like the first time around she should have learned her lesson. We get a nice scene with Poppy's dad. He kind of comes clean to her about his mental illness, and then we get to see that Warren actually, when he sees the Aryan Brotherhood kind of coming after him, he spits on the cop there in the jail, and it looks like he might get thrown into solitary confinement, which is probably a good move for him at this moment if his back is against the wall. And then, of course, we find out a lot of things in this episode. We find out that Lainey broke into Poppy's house and stole her prayer fan, I'm calling it, or whatever that was, from her religious stuff there. So what's going on? Why is Lainey breaking into Poppy's house and jacking things? She just want to snoop around? Is she crazy? She mental something? And then, of course, we got the big ending there with Lainey apparently giving her mom Erin some pills. Some sleeping pills, some murder pills, some euthanasia pills. It's not quite sure. I mean, it sort of leaves it a little open-ended. Is she actually murdering her mom? We gotta find out, I guess, the fallout of this in the next episode. It's a little bit of a cliffhanger there. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, Poppy has put her face and her name out there on the podcast and confronting people. And if Erin is now dead, that means that both Owen and Erin are sort of dead as a result from Poppy digging deep and talking about things publicly. I mean, clearly Owen killed himself, and looks like Lainey might be murdering her mom. But, this a lot of cause and effect here in this episode. So, enjoying the show, liking it a lot. Let me know what your comments and your feedbacks are, specifically to some of the bullet points here, or if there's something I missed that you thought was like a big deal. So, thanks so much for watching for CoinOpTV. We'll see you next time.